Okay, at this time, I'll call the Budget Committee meeting to order and ask for everyone to please register their presence.
Five present, 0 absent. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Now I'll ask for the emergency announcement to be played, please.
Before we get started, let me read the emergency evacuation procedures. In the event of an emergency evacuation, an alarm will sound. Everyone should exit the building by way of the nearest stairwell in a safe and effective manner. If the nearest stairwell is blocked by smoke, use the other stairwell. Do not use the elevator. Once you have reached the main floor, follow the exit signs to exit the building and quickly proceed away from the building. Please be mindful of others evacuating and of emergency vehicles.
And now I'll ask if there's any input on items on the agenda. Seeing none. Item D, approval of the February the 6th, 2018 minutes. They are in your packet. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes? A motion from Commissioner Lewis. Do I have a second? Second from Ms. Hannum. Is there any discussion or any questions? Seeing none, I'll ask all those in favor to signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Item E1, transfers. Highway Department, $60,000 for the Kensal Springs Bridge project. Do I have a motion to forward this on to the Agenda Committee?
So moved.
Have a motion by Commissioner Cole. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Kaler. Is there any questions or discussions on this? Seeing none, I'll ask for you to register your vote, please.
Five yes, 0 no. Motion passes.
Thank you. Item 2A, Resolution 18-03001, General County. This is a $58,000 increase for the Kensal Springs Bridge project. Do I have a motion to forward this to the Agenda Committee?
So moved.
So moved by Commissioner Cole. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lewis. Is there any questions or discussion on this? Seeing none, I'll ask to register your vote, please.
5 yes, 0 no. Motion passes.
Item E2B, Resolution 18-03002 for schools, $492,000 for the Heritage High School, William Blount High School football stadium renovations. Do I have a motion to forward this on to the Agenda Committee?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Lewis, do I have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Kaler, is there any questions or discussion? Does anyone have any questions or discussion?
I got a question.
Yes, sir, Commissioner Cole.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I was wondering if we could have someone from the schools kind of give us a little overview on what all this work entails.
Troy?
Do the best I can. We are going to, at both high schools, Williamont High School and Heritage High School, this is a major repair and maintenance type of project. We're going to clean the stadium, concrete seating, caulk, repair any concrete places where it's broke, and seal the entire thing to keep it from water intrusion. At Heritage High School, in addition, we're going to replace the safety fence that goes up the sides of that stadium, both the post and the fence part. We're going to replace that.
Is there I've seen some of the pictures and the lockers look pretty old and destroyed, and so what I'm wondering is there a master plan on the renovations are you trying to get from point A to point B with several steps, or what's the long-term plan?
The renovations of the locker rooms and the bathrooms and the storage rooms, some offices, the concession stands that are in the block buildings that are underneath the stadiums are part of, and we're looking at, are part of the overall high school renovation project that we're in the process of working on right now.
Okay.
So that's a future plan.
Okay. I just wondered how this piece fit into the master plan, if you had a master plan for the renovation.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Chairman, Mr. Logan's still up here, but can I have the floor for a second?
Yes, sir.
Segueing from what Commissioner Cole said, I actually reached out to Mr. Logan. I'm sorry I called him on a Sunday afternoon, but I saw the picture in the paper as you did in regards to the state of the locker room. And I just want to say that he was very helpful. He answered my questions. I just want to reiterate the fact that I think it's very important that we follow up and fix that. You know,
Yes,
we want our kids to play and learn, and we also want them to be competitive. And we have to show that we have an interest in them, and that's pretty dismal. So I hope that there is definitely a plan in place to get those locker rooms in a something you'll be proud of shape.
We are working on that and working on a plan and looking at what we need to do to make that happen.
You have a time frame?
No, I don't.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Yes, Sam?
Mr. Logan, two questions probably. First question is, if approved, when would work begin on the stadiums and how long would it take? And would the proposed work of caulking, sealing, cleaning last for how long? And then we would need to repeat the process.
If approved by the full commission, which would be March 15th or so, I think that's right, third Thursday of this month, we could, once we get a purchase order in place, authorize contractor to start as soon as that happens. So I would expect to start later this month. And I'm told by the contractor that it would be anywhere from 90 to 120 days to complete both stadiums. And what was your second question? I'm sorry.
Do we need to repeat the process?
How long?
Okay. The contractor told me that this should last 15 to 20 years before it would need to be resealed. As far as the sealant goes, the repair should last indefinitely, but as long as we keep it resealed, we shouldn't get any more concrete problems that are a result of water intrusion.
You ready? You need more?
Did anybody take a look at the foundations? Was part of the cracking due to settling foundation issues, or was it just mostly thermocycling?
We had a structural engineer look at and evaluate both stadiums from a structural engineering standpoint. So, and in both of those reports, they said that the structural integrity of both stadiums is in really good shape. So they're good from that standpoint. I don't know if any of the concrete damage is due to settling. I don't think so, but I don't know that for a fact.
And they signed off on that?
They did.
Thank you.
Commissioner Lewis?
Troy, what other capital improvements are planned for 2018?
For next fiscal year, we're working on the high school renovation project, which is the biggest thing that's in the capital plan. I don't know exactly when we'll have that plan completed with, drawings and scope of project. We're working on all that, but I don't know when we'll have that completed. Would like to have that done sometime for next year, but I don't know the exact date. We still got, we've got some HVAC projects that we need to do next year that we plan to submit in the budget for Fund 177. Those are the biggest things that I know of right now.
Okay, if we don't have the plan that we need by the time budget rolls around, what are we gonna do about capital improvements if we don't have the plan yet? Do we have any plans at all to do any other improvements if we don't get that in time?
Well, we'll have a plan with the Fund 177 and the 4 cents that's part of that, which is $1.5 million, I think, or $1.4 million, somewhere in there. We'll have a plan for that.
Okay.
I'm working on that right now and making sure that we specifically identify what we need to do with that next year, or at least what we'd like to do. We'll have that before the May, June
Budget
process.
cycle.
Yeah.
Okay, good deal, thank you.
Commissioner Coe?
Yeah, I have just one last question. On this project that we're about to vote on, did you receive more than one estimate on this?
We did. There were 2 vendors that submitted bids. The first one bid was $1,320,000, and this bid was for $447,000. And I've asked to add 10% just for contingency, just in case.
Thank you.
Is there any other questions? Any discussion? Thank you, Troy.
Okay, thank you.
Item F, I guess we need to vote on it. Talked about it so much, I thought we'd passed it. I'll ask that you register your vote now, please.
5 yes, 0 no, motion passes.
Thank you. Item F1, Resolution 18-03-003, grant application for Parks and Rec is requesting to apply for funds that will help pay for the Everett Recreation Center floor replacement. The county will be responsible for a 50% match of the awarded funds of $72,500. Do I have a motion to forward this to the Agenda Committee?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Lewis, do I have a second? Second, Ms. Hannum. Do we have any discussion or questions? We have Public Works Director Joe Huff here, if anyone would like to talk to him. Commissioner Lewis?
Joe, if you don't mind, if you just come up and talk a little bit about the floor and kind of use it's had, how old it is, and a little bit about the replacement.
Parks Rec Director, not the Public Works Director, but that's fine.
What did I call you?
Public Works Director.
Oh, that's right. I knew you was there somewhere. I
Yeah,
wasn't
you're
sure
close.
where it was.
Yeah, you're close. The Everett Recreation Center, the gym floor was, best estimate is probably installed in the mid-50s, give or take a couple of years. So it's been there quite a few years, and over the years of sanding and refinishing, actually we haven't been able to sand it the last 3 or 4 years. You know, when now we screen it, which you don't have to sand the floor every year, but every so often you should, but we just can't sand it anymore. The nail heads are showing. There's some of the wood's getting thin, or it's getting a little wavy in some areas. So it's really, it's in bad shape, ready to, you know, in need of repair. And that gym gets a tremendous amount of use. If anybody's been down there on a Saturday or any time, I mean, that gym is unbelievable, the use it gets. So it's in dire need of repair. The way these grants work with the TDEC, Department of Environment and Conservation for Parks and Recreation, it's a 50% match. We're working on a process of applying for it now. It's due April 18th, but they don't award the grants until probably August, September. Very competitive. I'm hoping we get one. I'm not guaranteeing, but we've been pretty successful in the past on other, you know, we've applied for a lot of these and been fairly successful. They are very, very competitive because they only come out every other year. So once they're awarded, you know, we're looking at probably doing this particular job this time next year, because basketball will be cranking up in the fall. We'll have to wait till that's done. So right now is the time we'd probably do it this time next year. Just a brief synopsis of the project.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? If you haven't had a chance to go out there, last year we partnered with Parks and Rec and put new bleachers in the gym, and they really turned out nice.
Oh, that's great. Had a lot of compliments. They're safer too.
Yeah, I mean, they're ADA
Yeah.
compliant and with steps, and the bleachers that were in there were the original bleachers from '54, as is this floor. This is the original floor in that gym, so I think the county's probably got its money's worth out of that. The floor, going back to what Joe said, there is thousands and thousands of people uses that gym every year, and it's for all different activities. So I think it's important that we fund this and give this to Parks and Recs. Any other questions?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Joe, do we have a plan B if we're not successful in getting that grant? Do we have something we're looking at?
Come back and ask for the whole $145,000. I guess, I mean,
That's kind of where I thought we were going, but
Yeah.
I thought there might be
and,
something.
that's the only other option, but hopefully we won't get to that point. Because like I said, these grants are only offered every other year, so it'll be a while.
Just a regional grant? Is it like
It's state.
So it's the host, we're competing against the
Yeah,
host state,
whole
not just
state.
the region.
And they're very, very, these grants, actually, in this particular grant cycle, this size grant is small because you can ask, these grants you can qualify for up to $1 million projects. But what you have to put into these grants is unbelievable, what they ask for. And it don't matter if you're putting in a gym floor or if you're developing $1 million project, they're asking for the same maps, the same things. So it's a very detailed, a little bit, I've expressed my concern, a little bit over detailed on some things, but we can handle that part. Like I said, we've done it before. So, and one of the things that helps this particular project in this grant is they give extra points for renovation projects. They're big on renovation, so we'll get renovation. And also, if your Parks and Rec is benchmarked, which is like accreditation, which we are a benchmark department, so you'll get more points for that too. So those kind of things help us along the way.
Thank you.
Commissioner Lewis?
And I'll just add, Joe, and you can add to this if you like, but this, from a cost standpoint, is a pretty reasonable investment as compared to what Maryville's had to do with John Sevier Pool, and Alcoa is going to have to do with the Springbrook Pool, and so all in all, I think for the money, it's a good investment, even if we had to absorb it all, and hopefully we won't have to do that.
Any other questions or comments? Thank you, Joe.
Thanks.
Now I ask if you will, please register your vote.
5 yes, 0 no, motion passes.
Thank you. Item G is financial reports. This is for information only. Seeing nothing else, I'll ask for a movement to adjourn.